When did the truth not set you free? I was eating breakfast when CPS barged through the front door. We need to talk to you about grape allegations from 6-year-old Vera Hines. In seconds, the officers were escorting me out, while my 2 daughters stared at me like I was a monster. At the station, I tried to stay calm while asking for evidence, and that's when the detective pulled out a drawing Vera had made. My bedroom, drawn perfectly to a T. I'd never heard of this girl before in my life. This has to be some kind of mistake, my lawyer chimed in. Well then, show me OP's left shoulder. I pulled down my shirt, and the officer went white. That's the exact birthmark Vera described. When they finally told me my girls were being placed with my mother-in-law, who tried to hit them when they were younger, I actually threw up. My wife picked me up and kept saying, "I believe you. I know you'd never." But her eyes had this look of fear I'd never seen before, like she already thought I was guilty. 2 days later, they brought me to see Vera through a two-way glass. The moment they brought me into view, she pointed directly at me. That's him. That's the man who hurt me. The worst part was when she described in vivid detail about what I'd done to make her afraid of adults forever. Every word felt like a knife because I could see everyone in that room deciding I was guilty. My wife confirmed she'd never seen Vera at our house either. She lived 40 minutes away in a completely different school district. Her parents looked at our photos with blank faces, saying they'd never seen us before. I practically begged to take a polygraph, but when the examiner saw the results, his face went pale. Deception on every single question, even when asked if my name was really mine or if I was human. The second polygraph at a different facility came back the same way, but of course they still used the answers against me. And my daughters started asking my MIL why I hurt that little girl, because kids at school were talking. When my 5-year-old flinched when I reached to hug her, I broke down sobbing. The forensic psychologist evaluated Vera and told the court she showed genuine trauma responses with no signs of coaching. Meanwhile, this child I'd never met knew about the scar on my inner thigh from surgery. She knew what side of the bed I slept on and the exact cologne scent I used, all details confirmed by my wife. I was right in front of Vera when she said, "The man said the camera in the bathroom was our secret game." I was so desperate for this to make sense that I thought the nightmare was over when the investigators never found the camera, except there was a small hole exactly where she said it would be. The forensics team said the hole was drilled from inside the wall, physically impossible without tearing the bathroom apart. My wife instantly let go of my hand, and my girls never came home with me again. A few days later, when the news broke, my job suspended me without pay. The grocery store manager asked me to shop elsewhere after other customers complained, so I did what I had to do and spent everything I had left on a private investigator. 3 weeks later, he found security footage of my wife and kids at a park with Vera and her mom, dated 1 month before the allegations. But that wasn't all. He discovered my wife had withdrawn $15,000 cash over 6 weeks before the allegations. He also discovered that Vera's mom worked at the same yoga studio my wife attended. Despite my wife claiming she'd quit yoga years ago, my blood went cold. During my supervised visit with my daughters, I showed them the security footage of the park, and they got excited. "That's Vera from our play dates," my 8-year-old exclaimed. "Mommy gave Vera our house key to play hide and seek," my 6-year-old added. Then the worst part, "Mommy told us it's a special game and we can't tell Daddy or he'll lose." Well, a few weeks ago, they swore they'd never even heard of her. The supervisor documented everything and called CPS immediately. For one beautiful moment, I thought the nightmare was ending. The next morning, my wife filed an emergency motion claiming I was coaching the children. The judge decided the footage was inadmissible in court, and my daughter's statements were contaminated by exposure to evidence. My wife got full custody that afternoon. I knew what I had to do next. Full story on channel, link below.